Hello, and welcome to Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI, where we bring you the latest news stories from around the world as interpreted by our team of artificial intelligence experts. I'm your host, Beatrix Kiddo, and today is December 20th, 2024. First up, we have a story that's out of this world. Literally. Scientists have discovered a fossilized plant in Utah that doesn't belong to any known plant families, living or extinct. This mysterious alien plant is sure to raise some questions about the history of life on our planet. Next, we're heading to Arizona, where one school district is taking a bold step into the future. They'll be using artificial intelligence to teach their curriculum with no human teachers in sight. Will this be the way of the future for education, or is it a step too far? Elon Musk is at it again, using his platform and power to stir up some chaos. This time, he's memeing us into a government shutdown. But is it all just a joke, or is there something more sinister at play? The FAA has issued a ban on drones in parts of New Jersey as UFO hysteria continues to grip the state. Are these sightings the real deal, or just a bunch of hoaxes? The feds have issued a warning about SMS authentication, saying it's no longer safe after what they're calling the worst hack in our nation's history. What does this mean for the future of online security? And finally, a New York man has made an incredible discovery in his own backyard, a mastodon fossil. This prehistoric find is sure to be a hit with paleontologists and history buffs alike. All this and more on today's episode of Chaos Theory. So sit back, relax, and let our AI team guide you through the latest and greatest in news. Scientists have discovered an alien plant that was first found near a Utah ghost town 55 years ago, and it doesn't appear to be related to any currently living family or genus. Paleontologists first found fossilized leaf specimens of the plant in 1969 and named it Othniophyton elongatum, which translates to alien plant. At the time, they believed the extinct species could be related to ginseng. However, a more recent analysis has challenged that hypothesis. Stephen Manchester, curator of paleobotany at the Florida Museum of Natural History and Utah fossil expert, came across an unidentified plant fossil while visiting the University of California, Berkeley paleobotany collection. This plant fossil was well preserved and had come from the same area as the alien plant leaves. Manchester's research team analyzed the fossils and concluded they were from the same plant species, according to their study published in the journal Annals of Botany. Both fossil specimens were excavated from the Green River Formation in eastern Utah, near the former town of Rainbow. Around 47 million years ago, when the plants lived, the region was a huge lake ecosystem near active volcanoes. Lake sediment and volcanic ash slowed decomposition in fish, reptile, bird, and plant remains, enabling some to be extremely well preserved. The researchers analyzed both fossils' physical features and searched for living plant families that could be similar. Unlike the 1969 find, the specimen at UC Berkeley had leaves, flowers, and fruits attached, which looked very different from those of plants related to ginseng. In fact, the researchers couldn't match the fossils to any of the over 400 families of flowering plants living today and extinct families. When scientists studied the original fossils in 1969, they were working only with leaves, not with flowers, fruits, or branches. Based on the arrangement of the leaves' vein patterns, they theorized the leaf structure could be similar to that of plants in the ginseng family. With the detail provided by the newer fossil, the researchers had a better picture of what the plant would have looked like and discounted the ginseng connection, but still couldn't pinpoint the plant's family. A few years later, the Florida Museum of Natural History had access to new microscopy and artificial intelligence technology that enabled even more detailed viewing of the plant fossils. Microimpressions of small, developing seeds were visible in the fossil's fruits. The research team could also see stamens, flowers' male reproductive organs, which in most plant species detach after fertilization. Usually, stamens will fall away as the fruit develops, and this thing seems unusual in that it's retaining the stamens at the time it has mature fruits, with seeds ready to disperse. We haven't seen that in anything modern. Manchester said in a statement. Comparing these traits to extinct families didn't result in any matches either. But this isn't the only species from the Green River Formation that has stumped scientists. This region has previously produced other plant fossils, like Bonanza carpum fruit and Palubinia leaves, that have surprised scientists and ultimately led to the discovery of extinct groups. Reported by Olivia Ferrari. A new charter school in Arizona has been approved to open, but students won't have traditional teachers. Instead, they will receive only 2 hours of academic instruction each day, directed entirely by AI. The school, operated by Unbound Academy, already has a private school in Texas that uses this 2-hour learning model and is currently applying to open similar schools in Arkansas and Utah. The AI system will analyze students' responses, time spent on tasks, and emotional cues to optimize the difficulty and presentation of content. The rest of the students' days will be spent on life skill workshops, such as financial literacy, public speaking, and goal setting. Teachers will be replaced by guides who will lead these workshops. The student handbook for the Alpha School, the charter school Unbound's founders operate in Texas, claims that its students learn twice as much as standard school students, while only spending 2 hours per day on academics. However, experts have questioned whether the personalized learning software used in the program provides the educational boosts claimed in marketing material. Unbound's bold claims about how much its students will learn are based on the experiment it's running on students in Texas, inspired by Elon Musk. The company wrote in its application that it started with a high-end private school, Alpha, for the same reason Musk started with higher-end Teslas, to create a product that generates insights and funding for future research and development. Reported by Todd Feathers. Elon Musk spent the past few days posting about a government spending bill on X, the website he owns, in an effort to prevent it from passing. Musk, who is cozy with the incoming Trump administration and thinks the government spends too much money, posted about this more than 100 times. As of this writing, it appears that Musk has gotten his wish, as angry constituents called their representatives and the GOP's most unhinged members revolted, causing the bill to be dead in the water and potentially leading to a government shutdown. This development highlights the influence of unelected billionaires in shaping government policy. The FAA has placed temporary flight restrictions on the operation of drones over parts of New Jersey, according to a notice published on the agency's website. The ban on drone activity is likely related to the recent bout of mass hysteria over supposed drone sightings, though the agency hasn't said so explicitly. The FAA told the New York Times the ban was enacted at the request of federal security partners, without elaborating further. The drone ban covers 22 different New Jersey communities and is set to expire on January 17, 2025. It's not immediately clear why that end date was chosen. People in New Jersey started reporting odd drones in the sky to police around November 18th, and there have reportedly been sightings every day since, aside from a conspicuous pause on Thanksgiving. The so-called drones have caused more and more people to post videos taken of what they believe to be unmanned aerial vehicles. And while some of the videos are difficult to explain, the vast majority appear to be regular commercial aircraft. The concern has been bipartisan, with Senator Chuck Schumer, the Democratic Majority Leader in the Senate, calling for more action and playing up the hype. Some of the most difficult-to-believe theories about the drones are coming from elected leaders, including claims by a Republican congressman that they're actually being deployed by an Iranian mothership off the east coast of the U.S. There's no evidence that Iran has deployed a drone mothership, despite the fact that the congressman has access to real power and should know things. With Trump taking power again in a month, things are shaping up to get so much weirder in the months and years ahead, drones or no drones. Matt Novak has reported that hackers aligned with the Chinese government have infiltrated U.S. telecommunications infrastructure, allowing them to intercept unencrypted communications, including phone calls and text messages. The operation, known as Salt Typhoon, has been so extensive that the hackers have not yet been removed from the telecom networks. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, has issued guidance on best practices for protecting highly targeted individuals, which includes a warning against using text messages for multi-factor authentication. CISA advises that SMS messages are not encrypted and can be intercepted by threat actors with access to a telecommunication provider's network. Instead, CISA recommends using phishing-resistant methods like passkeys or authenticator apps. The FBI has also endorsed the use of encryption, a departure from its previous opposition to the technology. CISA suggests using end-to-end encrypted messaging apps like Signal for secure communications. Senator Mark Warner has criticized the federal government and telecom companies for not taking the Salt Typhoon threat seriously enough. The average person can take steps to protect themselves by following CISA's guidance and using encrypted messaging apps for secure communications. A man in Scotchtown, New York, discovered a fossilized mastodon jaw in his backyard earlier this year, as reported by Isaac Schultz. The jaw, complete with the extinct giant's teeth, is the first found in the state in over a decade. The man initially mistook the teeth for baseballs while gardening. Mastodons, not to be confused with mammoths, were common in southern New York during the Pleistocene and some of the Holocene. The most obvious difference between mastodons and mammoths is in their teeth. Mastodon teeth have conical points. Subsequent excavation by the New York State Museum and the State University of New York, Orange County, yielded a piece of a toe bone, a rib fragment, and the entire jaw of an adult mastodon. The fossil will be put on display sometime in 2025. In recent years, advances in ancient DNA research have helped scientists better understand the life and times of North American mastodons. The researchers plan to carbon date the mastodon jaw to determine its precise age, but also its diet and the kind of habitat it lived in. North America's proboscideans went extinct by about 10,500 years ago, but their remains continue to reveal how the ancient beasts existed in life. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI. I'm your host, Beatrix Kiddo, and I hope you enjoyed today's summary of the day's top stories. Remember to always fact-check AI-based news summaries before sharing them. On this day in history, in 1995, the first version of the programming language Python was released. It has since become one of the most popular languages for AI development. We'll be back tomorrow with more news, so be sure to join us then. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the show wherever you get podcasts so you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening.